Beautiful day out at the San Juan Island, Stewart Island, my folks' place. We just did a major renovation to the cabin. We discovered quite a bit of rot. I'll take you this way. We had 14 of these sliding glass door seconds is what they were. They would use a sliding portion for windows out of the front of the cabin 25 years ago or 30 years ago when we built the place. And we discovered we had quite a bit of rot. Here's the corner post. This was cut with a chainsaw 30 years ago, and that post held up corner of the cabin. You can see where they replaced it. It was right there. And well, we ended up doing all these posts, these vertical posts, we ended up having to cut off a couple feet up from the floor. They went down to the floor and sat on a sill, which sat on a 6x8 beam, and everything was rotted. We were only going to do one half at a time, and we ended up having to do the whole thing. Take you over. This is the porta power unit out of my shop press. I have that on a YouTube video if you're interested. It's can use it for porta power how I'm supposed to, or use it in my shop press. Built this beam. It's 18 feet tall, out of pressure treated. We lifted the whole cabin from that ridgepole. Like I said, we're only going to do one half, but we ended up cutting all the rot out, cutting all these posts up. These were all hanging at one point, a couple feet up, and everything was knocked out from underneath the floor. And we ended up building this box beam assembly here, and then suggested putting this plate on to capture a little bit of strength due to that seam there, and then that goes all the way down the ground. And Dad just finished putting the siding in, and it's looking pretty good. We still got a lot of work to do. But Dad's idea was to replace the 2 windows with 3 windows. A lot easier to transport and handle. One person can install these, and then I suggested putting in these track systems. Each window has its own track, so you just have to pull 4 screws and on either side of those little blocks. And windows are totally independent of one another. You can just slide right out and replace it, put a sheet of plywood in there if one gets broken, bird strike or tree branch. And let's go on inside. So with the staggered windows, I was able to put these little shelves, just made them right out of fir. I think these were 2x6s, and then went on up to 2x10s and 2x12s. It's the same radius, and they end up at the same point on the beam, but due to the stagger of the window, they just look a little different. But Mom put some the Mexican ironwood on there, and looks pretty nice. I'm hoping for less bird strikes now that we have that on up there. So we still have quite a bit of floor repair work to do. We had to pull about 4 feet in some places back, and of course the tile got broken. We'll be working on that next year. So those shelves serve several purposes. You could put the ladder up against them to rest on when they're cleaning the windows instead of the glass or trying to get them on the post, but that's almost impossible. And some of these windows can open, and we can load firewood from the outside, and they'll serve as a handle to push up on once we get that done. And behind here, I'm suggesting that we put in some little boxes, little tip-out boxes. We can stow some of our blankets and binoculars. And this is the new stove we brought over. Quite heavy. Brett and Lucas helped along with a friend of mine, and somebody just happened to be down at the dock. They'll be replacing this stove that's 25 years old and leaking, smoking quite a bit. So we'll be doing that, moving that over next summer, and finishing out all the trim work inside here, closing it up. Thanks for watching.